The story of space shuttles begins with a dream that reached beyond the sky. A dream that dared to turn the impossible into a daily mission of exploration. From the very first days of human flight, people have looked up and wondered what it would take to leave the Earth behind, to float among the stars, to touch the endless dark sea of space. And it was this curiosity that led to one of the most extraordinary creations in human history: the Space Shuttle. The Space Shuttle was not just a machine, it was a symbol of courage, science, teamwork, and vision. It was built to go up into space, return to Earth, and do it again. A reusable spacecraft, something that sounded like pure science fiction before it became real. The idea was to build a ship that could take astronauts, satellites, and scientific experiments into orbit and bring them safely home. This was the next great step after the Apollo missions, which had taken humans to the moon. The shuttle program began in the 1970s, when NASA engineers and scientists started turning designs into hardware. The goal was simple in words but massive in execution: create a vehicle that could lift heavy cargo into space and return intact. And after years of planning and testing, the dream took form. The first shuttle was named Enterprise, a name that perfectly captured the spirit of exploration. Though Enterprise never went to space, it was used for flight tests that paved the way for those that followed. Columbia became the first shuttle to reach orbit in 1981, launching a new era of spaceflight. It roared off the pad at Kennedy Space Center, riding on the bright flames of its solid rocket boosters. Millions watched around the world as it climbed higher and higher until it disappeared into the blue. The Space Shuttle was unique because it combined the power of a rocket, the control of an airplane, and the flexibility of a spacecraft. The shuttle had three main parts: the orbiter, which looked like a plane with wings and carried the crew; the large orange external fuel tank, which held liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen; and the two solid rocket boosters that provided the initial thrust for liftoff. Once in orbit, the shuttle would circle Earth at speeds over 17,000 miles per hour. It could stay in space for days or even weeks, depending on the mission. And when it was time to come home, it would re-enter the atmosphere glowing with heat, then glide to a smooth landing on a runway. Each mission had a purpose. Some launched satellites into orbit. Others carried laboratory modules where astronauts performed scientific experiments. The shuttle also helped build and service the Hubble Space Telescope, one of the most important scientific instruments ever created. Without the shuttle, Hubble would not have been able to give us the breathtaking images and discoveries that changed our understanding of the universe. The Space Shuttle also made it possible to build the International Space Station. Piece by piece, mission by mission. Astronauts from around the world came together to assemble the station using the Shuttle AS cargo bay to deliver giant modules and solar arrays. It was a true symbol of international cooperation, showing that exploration could unite rather than divide. The shuttle era also became a story of people, not just machines. Astronauts trained for years to fly these missions. They learned to pilot the orbiter, conduct experiments, repair satellites, and even walk in space. Each astronaut carried the dreams of countless people who looked up at the night sky and imagined being there too. But with great achievements came great risks, and the shuttle program faced tragedies that shook the world. In 1986, the Space Shuttle Challenger broke apart shortly after liftoff. All 7 crew members were lost. It was a moment of deep sorrow and reflection. NASA and the nation mourned together. And years later, in 2003, tragedy struck again when the shuttle Columbia disintegrated during re-entry. Again, 7 brave explorers lost their lives. Each disaster reminded humanity of the dangers of pushing beyond the limits, and yet also of the unbreakable spirit that drives exploration forward. After each loss, investigations were made, lessons were learned, and improvements were applied. Because space exploration has always demanded courage, resilience, and the will to rise after falling. The shuttle program continued because the dream of discovery was stronger than fear. As the years passed, the shuttle fleet grew. Challenger's sister ships included Discovery, Atlantis, and Endeavour. Each with its own history and accomplishments. Discovery deployed Hubble, Atlantis helped assemble the space station. Endeavour completed critical missions after being built to replace Challenger. Every shuttle carried countless hopes and scientific milestones. Life aboard the shuttle was both challenging and extraordinary. Astronauts floated in microgravity, performing delicate experiments while adapting to a world where up and down no longer existed. They slept in small sleeping bags attached to walls, ate rehydrated food, and looked out of windows that showed the curved blue Earth below. Sunrises and sunsets passed every 90 minutes. The sight of the planet spinning beneath them reminded them how small and beautiful the world really was. The shuttle changed not only science, but culture. It inspired movies, books, and generations of children who dreamed of becoming astronauts. Classrooms across the world watched shuttle launches live, cheering as the countdown reached 0. Each launch was a celebration of human achievement, proof that teamwork and imagination could overcome gravity itself. Yet as technology advanced, new questions arose. Could the shuttle remain safe and cost-effective for the future? Could private companies build on what NASA had begun? By the 2000s, the shuttle was aging and expensive to maintain. After decades of service, the decision was made to retire the fleet. The final flight came in 2011, when Atlantis lifted off on mission STS-135. It carried supplies to the International Space Station and marked the end of an era. When it landed safely back on Earth, the world watched in both pride and sadness. The shuttle era had come full circle. The retirement of the shuttle did not end human spaceflight. Instead, it opened a new chapter. Private companies like SpaceX and Boeing began developing their own spacecraft inspired by what the shuttle accomplished. NASA shifted its focus toward deep space exploration, preparing for missions to the Moon, Mars, and beyond. The shuttle had paved the way, teaching engineers how to launch, orbit, and return safely again and again. Though no longer flying, the shuttles remain symbols of innovation. Museums across the United States now display them. Visitors can stand beneath these enormous vehicles, see the heat tiles that once protected them from re-entry, look into the cockpit where astronauts once worked, and imagine what it must have felt like to ride on a pillar of fire into the sky. Each shuttle tells a story of triumph, sacrifice, and the relentless human desire to explore. In many ways, the shuttle represents the heart of the human journey. It taught us how to build together, how to recover from loss, and how to dream bigger than ever before. It showed that space exploration is not just about rockets and technology, but about people. Every mission carried scientists, teachers, engineers, and dreamers who believed that the future was written among the stars. The shuttle also transformed the way we think about Earth. From orbit, astronauts often spoke of the overview effect, a profound sense of unity that comes from seeing the entire planet without borders. They saw continents and oceans connected like one living system. It reminded everyone that humanity shares one fragile home, that space exploration is not about escaping Earth but about understanding and protecting it. The legacy of the space shuttle endures in every spacecraft that follows. Reusable rockets launched today by private companies carry the spirit of the shuttle program. Modern designs owe their existence to the breakthroughs of that era. The dream continues, carried forward by those who believe that reaching for the stars is worth every risk. The story of the space shuttle is a story of hope. It began as a bold experiment and became one of the greatest engineering achievements in history. It carried humans farther and more often than any spacecraft before. It built the foundation for the future of space exploration. Its legacy lives on in every astronaut who looks up at the stars and says, "We can go there again." And so the shuttle rests now as a monument to what humans can achieve when imagination meets determination. Its engines are silent, but its echo still roars across generations. It reminds us that the sky is not the limit, but the beginning. The shuttle taught us that flight is not only about leaving Earth, but about bringing knowledge back to it. The next steps may take us to the Moon once more, to Mars, and beyond the reach of our current dreams. And when those new explorers launch, they will carry the lessons learned from the Space Shuttle. They will know that courage is built through experience, and that progress is born from persistence. The shuttle was not perfect, but it was powerful. Not eternal, but unforgettable. Not just a spacecraft, but a bridge between worlds. It connected the age of rockets to the age of reusable flight. It linked the dreams of the 20th century to the possibilities of the 21st. It turned science fiction into everyday reality. So when you look up at the night sky and see the faint trail of a satellite or the glow of the International Space Station, remember that the Space Shuttle helped make that possible. It was humanity's chariot of fire, carrying explorers beyond the clouds and bringing them home again. The story ends, but the mission continues. The stars are still waiting, and the spirit of the shuttle lives on in every dreamer who dares to look up and say, "We can go higher. We can go farther. We can go together."